In 2024, a single cargo ship turned off its satellite tracker and vanished in the middle of the Indian Ocean. It wasn't lost. It wasn't hijacked. While the world thought the ship was gone, it was quietly changing the global price of bread, fuel, and microchips from the shadows. By the time it turned its tracker back on, your grocery bill had doubled. This isn't a maritime mystery. This is a story about phantom wealth. Here is how a tiny group of invisible billionaires use ghost ships to secretly manipulate the global economy and your bank account. The ghost supply chain. The main story begins. When we think about modern finance, we think about digital things. We think about stocks, apps, and crypto tokens. We think wealth is just numbers floating on a screen. But Wall Street's biggest players know a deep secret. You cannot eat a digital token. You cannot build a factory with a stock option. The real global economy is physical. It is made of oil, steel, wheat, and fertilizer. These are called commodities. And if you control the physical movement of these items across the ocean, you control the world. Our story begins with an ultra-secretive group of companies known as global commodity traders. You have probably never heard their names, but they generate hundreds of billions of dollars every single year. They do not manufacture products. They do not farm. They simply buy raw goods in one part of the world and ship them to another. And their greatest tool for making billions isn't a complex algorithm. It is an ancient legal loophole called the floating warehouse. Imagine you buy 1 million tons of wheat from a farmer during a good harvest. The price is incredibly low, saying $100 a ton. If you bring that wheat to a city immediately, you have to sell it at that low price. You make a small profit. But a commodity trader does something different. They load the wheat onto a massive cargo ship. They tell the captain to sail out into international waters and just drop anchor. The ship sits there in the middle of the ocean for 3 months, completely stationary. It becomes a floating warehouse. While the food is sitting on the water, the trader waits. They wait for a drought. They wait for a war. They wait for a crisis that destroys harvests in other countries. 3 months later, wheat becomes scarce. The global price shoots up from $100 a ton to $400 a ton. Suddenly, the trader orders the ship to sail into port. By doing absolutely nothing except keeping food away from the world on a ghost ship, they just multiplied their fortune by 4. But here's where the finance mechanics get dangerous. What happens when these traders don't just wait for a crisis? What if they create one? In 2024, an elite trading syndicate bought up a massive percentage of the world's global shipping containers. They loaded them with essential goods and ordered the ships to go dark. By turning off their mandatory automatic identification system, EYES transponders, these ships became invisible to global maritime tracking. On paper, it looked like global supply chains were collapsing. It looked like there was a massive shortage of goods. Panic spread through the markets. Corporations began frantically outbidding each other to secure whatever supplies were left. Prices skyrocketed globally. But the goods weren't gone. They were sitting on invisible ships, waiting for the exact moment when prices reached their absolute peak. This is the manipulation of reality. By hoarding physical goods in international waters where no government has jurisdiction, a few boardrooms in Switzerland or Singapore can artificially dictate the cost of living for billions of regular citizens. Thanks for watching. Please like the video and subscribe.